All right, welcome to this edition of Get the Skinny on Beachbody Coaching Weekly Chat. And this week's theme is we're having a blankie party in solidarity with Shirley Crafts, who still has her cold. All right, but tonight's show isn't about blankets. It's about a question that new coach Amethyst asked us last week and asked us to cover in this week's show. And what was that, Amethyst?
Why is it a bad idea to use Facebook as a sounding board?
Excellent. And to clarify, I give you Tom.
Okay, so a sounding board could be a lot of things, but I think what we're specifically referring to for a sounding board is talking about, politics, sex, religion, and overall venting about stuff and pity parties and no positive aim for a solution and, that kind of stuff. There's people that do that and all they attract are the flies. And we don't want to attract flies. We want to attract butterflies.
Yes.
Something like that. So it's a really bad idea to use Facebook, not just Facebook, but just use your life, offline or online, to spew that kind of stuff out, because whether it's online or offline, you're probably going to attract flies versus butterflies. We want to attract butterflies.
Excellent. I saw a short, I think it was an Instagram post that Gary Vee did today, and it was about how he could tell whether or not people, he used the word losers, but what he meant by that was the people that were doing well with what they were doing, but how they were never going to be really great at it. And he said the tell was that people, he would get into a conversation with somebody who was an entrepreneur and they would start complaining. So to him, the tell is if somebody complains, they're never going to, think big. And they're probably going to be somebody that's going to use their social media for inappropriate topics. What do you guys think about that?
My view on the sharing thing, because like the flip side of that is you don't want to look Pollyanna, like everything's perfect and nothing bad ever happens. But if you're going to share something that happened to you that maybe was more on the negative side, then always include the solution of how you made it better. So it's not like, don't ever say that anything bad ever happened to you, but always add that extra step, because you want to make sure people know you're a human being too. But, you don't want to just put it out there like, bleh, like I'm throwing my bleh on you and then you run away. You want to say, that really sucked, but you know what made it better? When I did this,
Agreed.
Okay. So Shelley, have you done any posts like that recently that you could use as an example?
I'm sure I have. I don't know any examples of it. You know what I did? I did having to go to the grocery store today because we are starting off nor'easter number 3 for the month of March. And every single time there's a snowstorm, I wind up having to go to the store for something. And it's never eggs or bread or milk. I'm not, eating that, but it's like, oh, I have to run out and get this. And it's not fun because the store is full of people, So it was kind of like saying that I had to do that, but then I wound up finding this Asian pear. I've never had an Asian pear before. So it was kind of like, well, look, I'm going to try something new since I had to come out. I'm going to make it fun and try something cool. And have you guys ever tried it? And what do you think? Kind of thing. So it was a way to get interaction going on my poop. I've got to go out to the grocery store in the snow and the ice, So.
All right, cool.
The Asian pears and their fancy little collars. That just intrigues me. Why are they dressed up? Where are they going?
I think one key thing is to let people know we're human and to be vulnerable with people and to also be positive. And it's just like, okay, yeah, we were without heat for 7 days straight. And that was no bueno. But, you know, humor and everything else, I kept going within my Instagram stories and, you know, just kept being positive and got through it. And, you know, people were responding through it and they're like, wow, I love your attitude with this.
Adding humor is good. I really like that a lot. I'm going through my history of just my posts right now, and I'm coming across one I did a few days ago or so. And it started out with about how I don't connect well with people, and I've always struggled to really connect with other human beings. And then the spin I put on it was, but in this home business thing, the only reason I could fire my boss and this and that is because I liked learning and being educational. So I would teach things and demo things and so forth. And that's how I connect with people, not really my personality, but just being educational connects with people, because some people like learning and teaching too. So that's how I spun that for a positive. That's one example. I'm still scrolling to see if I have others I can share.
Good. Very cool. So has anyone seen any posts recently when you've been, you know, going through social media? Some really good examples of things that you've seen that you just went, oh, like Hannah just said, no bueno. Kind of curled your toes. Good examples of things you definitely should not do.
Yeah.
Just scroll through my timeline, you'll see.
No, that's not what I heard.
My timeline. That's why I said I'm screwed with this.
That's not what I heard before the show. I heard that your timeline looks pretty smoking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's been the past week.
Doing awesome.
A turning point. A turning
Point.
I talked a lot about drawing lines in the sand, not just for this, but for all kinds of things. You can draw a line in the sand and jump over with both feet, not one but two. So that maybe that's your line in the sand on that issue.
Yeah.
I was ready to vent today, but I didn't because I knew we were going to be having this conversation.
Kept you on your toes.
Well, you know, when it comes to like venting posts, you can spin that into a positive. You know, say, well, I really wanted to vent about, you know, this topic today, but the more I thought about it, you know, I thought, well, why am I really angry about it? And then, you know, maybe why did I get in a situation where this anger got created? And then maybe is there a lesson in this that I'm supposed to be learning from this situation? Is there a silver lining? You know, because I'm a big believer that there's a silver lining in everything, even the most horrible situation you might find yourself in. So there's opportunity in everything. So you could still start out saying, you know, I really want to vent about this, you know, but then turn it into a positive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, there's always something.
But at the time you want to vent, you don't have that positive at that time. You just want to get it out.
Well, if that's the case, here's something I heard a long time ago. If you're really feeling angry and you got to get it out there, then put it on your calendar to do it like the following morning. And so the following morning comes around, odds are you're not in that high temperature anymore, and it'll be easier not to do it.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Open up a note on your phone or something and type it all out, but just don't actually post it on your social media.
Yeah. You could type
Then
it
you
out.
can, like, get it out. You can be
Yeah,
like,
and it's psychologically in your head, you know, ain't nobody seeing it.
yeah, and you can't accidentally post it if it's in a note or if you open up Word or something and just type it out.
Yeah.
It's worse when you accidentally post something.
Yeah, that's that's a really great idea. Really great idea. So in the heat of the moment, don't go near social media. Put it in a note or in a Word document or in a Google Doc or something, and then go back later and use it as a topic for a post.
Yeah.
Or a live.
Yeah, good one. Very good one.
Fortunately, most friends on social media do not go by that example, you all. Especially with today's current political system and everything. Oh my goodness. At the rants and
And honestly, I have never in my life witnessed anyone change their minds because of a social media argument over politics or religion, or it just gets angrier and angrier until someone's like, that's it, I'm done, and then they leave the conversation, and it never
forgets gets defriended over it, or?
Yeah, it doesn't ever wind up with, you know what, I think you're right, and I've changed my mind about that. I've never seen that happen.
I changed my political views because of a post I read on Facebook said nobody ever.
Exactly. Exactly.
There is one post, I think I've talked about this before, that actually does resonate with people, and that is just talking about the private money in politics and getting it out. That truly is the bipartisan issue of all bipartisan issues. Otherwise, politics is pretty much kind of a third rail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Yep, and obviously, if you are a religious person and that's part of your being you want to share that, you know, but just not in a way that's going to start, you know what I mean, like some sort of argument. Like, but if you're like, oh, I had a great time at church today, you know, don't avoid religion in that way.
And there's plenty of Beachbody coaches. There's whole communities within, you know, sub-communities within Beachbody that where the common denominator is I want to find other fellow people of faith, fellow Christians or whatever.
Exactly.
And so they all team up and do their community. Whether there's all kinds of sub-communities too, for that matter. You know, stay-at-home moms is a big one where they just get together, stay-at-home moms and people of faith, and I don't know, other ones too. Can't think of any, but those are two big ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But when I said originally religions and politics, I wanted to go back and clarify that's not what I meant, you know, like. Yeah. But saying your religion's poo-poo is not the way to do it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, religion is one that I just don't really talk about at all. I guess I just don't really have anything to say about it. But even if I did, I don't know, I probably still wouldn't. Just because. Well, that was easy.
I was like, why am I highlighted? I'm not saying anything. Like the little square lit up. I'm like,
are you breathing heavy?
I wasn't even clinking my dinner. I wasn't. I'm like, I was thinking really loud.
I'm still scrolling. I can't really find any more examples on my page. I'm all the way back to like March 5th right now.
Oh.
Go my timeline. You'll find stuff.
Great.
Oh, do you want us to critique your timeline? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you want to see venting posts, they're on my timeline.
So what kind of things do you vent about?
The traffic, whatever might be going on that I need to vent about. Stress. No, I don't really vent about that. Right now it's traffic.
Well, you can turn that around to another day stuck in the commute. I can't wait until I can work from home full time and I'm on my way. You know, like you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do sitting in my car really sucks. What do you do when you're stuck in the car for a long period of time? Start a conversation. You know, there's always ways to turn it around. So
nice. Great examples. Those are good.
Yeah. Zing.
Whenever I'm stuck in really bad traffic, I can't handle that. That's my pet peeve. I keep it to myself, but I'll shout certain obscenities that nobody else can hear. But I don't bring that to Facebook or anything.
Every day, I almost get run off the road by a tractor trailer. One cut me off again today. Every day.
My solution for that, for me anyway, is to just not live in a city that has that problem, so I don't. Traffic here is beautiful. It flows smooth, like the arteries that go to my heart. It's just all smooth flowing. I love Kenosha traffic because there isn't any.
Yeah. It's kind of like Johnson City.
Yep. Good stuff, man. I could never live in a Chicago or a New York or a Atlanta or a Honolulu or any of those places with the bad traffic. Can't do it. I won't even do San Diego.
Traffic's bad. I'm just not on the roads at those times.
Right.
So,
and that's another thing. I don't want my day to be dictated around, oh, shoot, well, I got to consider traffic. No. Can't. I'm just speaking for me.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's my solution for myself. Just I can't live there.
Right. But you know, you could also say, Amethyst, things like, you know, I really dislike getting caught in traffic, and I dislike, you know, spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of my day, you know, in my car. But what I've done to make it positive is I I listen to personal development, and a really great personal development book I just listened to, a really great personal development video I listened to, or whatever was this. And, you know, so I use that time, you know, to expand my mind and, you know, to improve my mind or whatever, or just to distract me from the traffic, whatever. So, you know, there's ways to spin that, to express that it's your least favorite thing and that it's sometimes dangerous, but that you try to use, you know, that you use it in positive ways. And, you know, that might help someone who it may never have occurred to them to use their time that way.
Well, that's how I've been listening to the videos in the alpha training.
Yeah, well, see, there you go.
Because I don't have any other time to do it.
Mhm.
And that's the
Here's
perfect
one.
time.
I'm all the way back in the middle of February, so I made a post about a big mistake I made the night before. I went out and I decided, oh, whatever, I'm going to get all this crap food, and I was paying for it the following morning, and then I made a decision that day. I'm going to go on a nice, like, 3-day detox or whatever it was, and I turned it into a thing of an invitation. Who'd like to join me the next 3 days? Let's be totally clean. I got these recipes. I'll share it with you. Something like that. So that was the spin I took on that, to invite people to eat clean.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So this giving you any ideas, Amethyst? It's giving me ideas.
Giving me ideas. You guys got some great ideas in here, man.
So I'm going to go on my timeline. I'm going to go on my timeline.
If you want us to tell you that you should use your timeline to vent, we're not going to tell you that.
What? What?
I said if you want us to tell you that it's okay to use your timeline to vent, we're not going to tell you that.
Oh, I know that. I was saying there's stuff on my timeline. You wanted me to give you an example. There's stuff on my timeline.
Okay, yeah, give us an example.
I don't have my timeline in front of me.
You can't get it in front of you right now?
Not on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I gotta do everything on my phone. My computers are jacked up.
Ah,
I was going to do something this morning. 20 minutes, couldn't get any. I had only 20 minutes. 20 minutes waiting for the computer. Never got done what I wanted to do.
hmm.
And some things you can't copy and highlight on the phone. When it works, but it's not always working. The computer.
Okay. Well, how about we talk about some posts we've done recently that have nothing to do with venting, nothing to do with improper posting, that have that have worked well for us recently. Anybody have anything that they're really proud of? Yes, Shelley?
Yesterday was Dave and my 5-year quit-anniversary for quitting smoking, and I got a whole lot of good interaction on that.
Yeah, I saw that post. I saw that post. That was an awesome post.
Because I think posting how much money we've saved between the two of us is kind of very eye-opening for people.
Yeah.
How much money did you save between the two of you in 5 years?
Over $25,000.
Yikes. Yikes.
$14 a day between
Times-
the two of us.
Ugh.
That could be a down payment for a small house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Way to go, man. That's awesome. You just gave yourself a $25,000 5-year raise.
yep, exactly.
I guess that's $5,000 a year. You gave yourself a $5,000 per annum raise.
Yep.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Not to mention the health benefits that you can't put a monetary tag on. Because that's what I said. I'm like, if we're not chasing after the kids now, it's because Dave has bad knees and I can't run without peeing my pants, not because we can't breathe because we smoke. And like that got a lot of laugh.
My humor. Good.
Always, gotta laugh.
What the fuck?
I posted something about food yesterday, a different take on it, because I was like, I post the same stuff about food. What can I do differently? So I started thinking, I'm like, oh, I know. This particular plate is, I'll call it Rebellion for lunch. And it's basically just these plant-based vegan tacos. And I went into it, Rebellion for lunch, anyone? This is a rebellion against violence, against for-profit health insurance, against pharmaceutical companies who profit by managing sickness and curing nothing, and just went on from there. It was just a totally different spin. It's like, and people, I guess, was kind of a nudge at people that look at something plant-based as like a sissy thing to do or whatever. Well, it's like now I'm calling people out, no, this is a rebellious thing to do, and here's why. And that got some pretty good engagement. It was an attractive picture. People said, ooh, that looks so delicious. And people got on board with the rebellion theme of that post, and it was a good post.
Yeah, well, I saw that post too. It was a good post, and yeah, people like to be rebellious. They like to identify with that. That was great.
Yeah, especially if there's a cause for it, not some hippie thing, but like this is a real cause.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
the other day in our group, with our daily affirmation, I had my affirmation is I am perfect and I am who I want to be. And oh my goodness, I was going on about body shaming within that. And the private messages and everything that were being sent to me, it touched me because it was kind of like an eye-opening thing. I was just like, you know what? Because sometimes when you hear words like perfection, I know at least in my eyes, I'm like, oh, this person's full of themselves, they're a narcissist, and da 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 da. But then, when I was on there and kind of explaining, let's just be kinder to ourselves and not be so harsh on ourselves, and it was really touching in that sense to have that kind of outreach that people were just like, yeah, I feel ya. Need to be kinder.
Yeah. And the cool thing too is that you were body shamed for completely, kind of completely different, in a different way than most people expect. I mean, you were shamed for being too thin, for your scars, we think of body shaming, typically is someone who's, overweight, pleasantly plump, that kind of stuff. Or maybe not attractive, but not for the reasons that you were shamed. I mean, that was shocking when you first told me about that.
Body shaming scars, that's a whole new level. I mean, scars, something happened for those scars, I don't
Yeah.
know how to explain them, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's a whole nother thing. Body shaming for somebody's scars. Wow.
Professional doctors at some of the top hospitals in the country that were trying to offer plastic surgery to me for those scars.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You earned them in a way. There's something, there's something to be proud of, I guess, in a weird way. You've earned them in a sense, and yeah, some people are really sick, man.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
So down with pharma. Drink my
Yeah.
Shakeology daily. Work out daily.
Here's one I did a few days ago. It's actually a vent post, but a vent in the other direction. Sometimes that's cool. So it's on par for this call, I guess. But this one reads, in its vent, it says, one bag of my superfood shake mix saves me $180 in groceries, and it tastes like a chocolate orgasm. And I look and I feel younger as I'm getting older. And pharmaceutical companies hate it because they can't rip me off with their stupid drugs. And it's great to post about on Facebook too, because it gets people to think about what they're spending their time and money on. And I like run-on sentences. And I'm happy to send you the link so you can try it, see if it turns you on too.
I love the run-on sentences.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was some humor in there. It was kind of a rant, an event,
Right.
and an invitation, and also, some interesting little tidbits that might get somebody's attention, like saving $180 in groceries on a superfood shake mix.
Yeah.
How is that event?
It just kind of sounded like one, the way that it was one right after another and leading into, and I hate it because they can't rip me off with their stupid drugs. That part, I guess, reminds me of the event. And then it kept going, and then finally making fun of myself with the run-on sentences. So it's a vent in the other direction.
Yeah. It's a creative event. Absolutely. Yeah. Very cool.
It was an uplifting vent. About that.
Yes.
And
Finally done my food for today. I love it. I just eat all day long and I keep getting in better shape. It's amazing.
That's a good one. I
Uh-huh.
just eat all day long and I keep getting in better shape. It's amazing.
Yep.
Eat all day long and keep losing weight and getting healthier. It's awesome.
And today's refeed day, so you're allowed to have your dirty yellows, which is like the white flour and stuff. There are some sweet things, but I don't do sweets. So I had a burger on a bun today. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was amazing.
Well, that's no fun for me because I can't eat that.
That's true. You can't eat that. But there
Yeah.
are gluten-free brownies
Yeah.
and gluten-free, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So there's stuff you could have.
Okay.
But oh no, wait, I have one more thing to eat. I think I'm gonna have mini pretzels. But I post about dang it, I made it so long. I've been posting about that kind of stuff too, as well as my progress pictures and
Mhm.
you know, that kind of stuff. So
Oh, we lost Amethyst.
I'll tell you a future post I'm going to do here soon. I just haven't decided how I want to word it yet because I want to change how I typically word stuff to just keep it interesting. But I'm going to make a post about why residual income is the priority because when I went on my cruise and that trip, you know, the only income stream that was paying me while I was away was my residual income streams, Beachbody and the real estate business. That's residual money. My ride sharing business didn't pay me anything. I wasn't doing any rides. So I didn't get paid for that again until I started doing more rides. So I got to find some short, concise, attractive way. I mean, I've already got ways to do it, but I want to challenge myself and just, I don't know,
You could
think
do
of a different way of presenting it. But that's what I'm basically going to communicate.
you could do kind of a this or that post.
Yeah, I've been done.
Oh, whatever.
I'm going to be a pioneer.
Rebel.
Pioneer talk.
Rebellious.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to take the rebellious angle with this one. I think I just want to be pioneering with how I'm going to do this post. I just have no idea how I'm going to do it yet. It hasn't revealed itself to me yet. But it's a great talking point. I mean, it really, truly is. Why is the priority residual money? Because when I wasn't doing anything, the residual money was the only thing paying me and covering me while I was gone. Period. That's a big deal.
I'm trying to work it out in my head like a good way to word it, but
Yeah.
Something to frame it and structure it.
yeah.
Something different. I mean, I can just fall back on ways I usually structure it, but I want to pioneer something new.
I
Yeah.
know way, because you were on a cruise, right? So
Yeah.
you think about being on cruise control without using your cruise control on your car. Like that.
Oh.
Shelly.
But
Something to toy with. Thank you for that.
you're welcome. I know.
Yeah. I'm a
Like,
very
it's right there. It's tingling in my brain.
And that can apply no matter what somebody's income level is, even if it's just like your average weekly check is $50, $20, $100, a couple $100.
Every penny counts, man.
Yeah. But the point being is that it's passive and residual. That's the big deal. That's what one wants to scale up on more than anything.
Right. Very
To do a
cool.
whole video like of just doing different things and just having it be like making money. You know, it's like getting my nails done, making money, sleeping, making money. Like, you know, like just different things. Like it's all happening residually. So
Right. It's a
you
great
can
idea.
always throw funny things in there that are appropriate.
Yeah, something humorous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. Have you guys ever heard of Promo? They're one of these businesses out there that are for marketers. That they have a library of like a gazillion. I mean, seriously, a gazillion just short clip videos that you can use as templates, and you can overlay your own your own text, whatever you want it to say. And they're between like 15 and 30 seconds. And that they have some really cool videos in there that would be perfect for that sort of thing. Getting my nails done, making money, that kind of stuff.
We should do this at Summit. There's got to be things we can do in Indy, and we can like go around and film ourselves doing this and make like a whole video of our whole team doing it.
Totally. Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that.
I'm up for creatively leveraging our summit trip.
Mhm.
One of my ideas, speaking of creative things to do, when I go back out to Las Vegas on one of my future trips, I don't know which one, a friend of mine, we want to go out to the desert and the canyons and challenge ourselves to find 100 different exercises we can sort of make up as we come across certain rocks and whatever else that we can do, and just splice all those 100 clips together into some kind of a video showing people what they can do when they're outside hiking in the desert, I guess.
Ah,
That's a good idea. And I've flown into Vegas, so I've seen that desert, and you could make a Martian movie while you're out there too.
I look for Marvin the Martian every time I'm out there. I'm not kidding.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love the red sand and all. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm in those areas where like Red Rock or Valley of Fire, where it's just red everywhere and rough and rigid and rocky, and I'm looking for Marvin. I really am. I've made videos about that. Where's Marvin the Martian?
That's so funny.
You should be in it. You've seen it from an airplane. You should be hiking through the canyons and climbing stuff. Oh my goodness.
I was out there for an awards ceremony, so I didn't have time for that. But if I ever go back out,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not super familiar with Vegas. The last time I was there, I think I was 17. So.
Right. Well, it's a different place. But however, out in the canyons and all that, it's still the same.
Very cool.
I did one video out there where I was planking and scooping my abs, just, holding the plank, but continuously, it looked like I was humping the air. But it's a real good, legitimate, it's like the number one best core exercise I think I've ever seen or experienced in my life. So I got a couple of different videos demonstrating that. And this one, I'm like, this would be great. Here's this little rock face here, put my hands up here, feet on here, and I'll just do it on this location with the sky in the backdrop and the mountains there and the desert sand beneath me. And it just made a really cool video versus doing it in my house, which is fine too. I got plenty of videos in my house and in my basement. Do it outside in nature, in nature's gym or God's gym or the universe's gym. Just good opportunities for more attractive videos.
Yeah. Yeah, really powerful.
I actually did one of my Insta stories today, leaning on the refrigerator, just so I would have like a different backdrop. I'm just trying to not be in the same spot because there's a couple places that are really good lighting and I overuse them, so I need to like find other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Hannah's in some really good lighting right now.
Yes.
It's always beautiful.
Anna's always glowing.
She is glowing, isn't she? That wasn't always the case, Tom.
Amazing skin.
not always-
Amazing skin.
That's basically close to zero pharmaceuticals and
You
Shakeology.
should do videos dedicated to healthy skin, hair, skin, and nails. Just videos upon videos and pictures dedicated to healthy hair, skin, and nails.
Seriously. Shakeology.
Shakeology, man.
I've done videos on healthy hair, skin, and nails. I'm a dude, so imagine you doing them.
No, I want to do that. I want to trim my nails all down and then just document them as they grow back because they grow so
Yeah.
fast now.
I have to cut mine once every week or two. In fact, I'm due to cut mine again. They grow super fast.
Yeah, I break mine a lot, but mine have gotten really long too. Really fast. I break
Yep.
them off, they grow.
Party. Well, we're down to less than a minute.
Oh
That went fast tonight.
no! I know. Well, that was because we have our blankies and we're so comfy.
Yes. Thank you all for wearing your blankies.
Yes, we'll have to come up with a theme for next time. So hopefully, Amethyst, you got your questions answered. It was a really great show, and we'll be back again next week. So everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Great ideas in this show. Very good ideas. I learned a few things.
Even Tom learned some things. Always exciting.
So do